up, guys? Ichiko here with another video, and I'm so sick of people saying that they hate Lucky Chloe when they have no legitimate reasoning. First off, it's two type of Lucky Chloe haters usually, and then you have the other ones who actually have a legitimate reason. But the main two are the ones who say this character looks way too ridiculous, and for that one, I say, why are you guys complaining about Chloe? That's not even a hard competition to compete against in terms of me disagreeing with you, because have you not seen Roger, Alex, freaking Kuma, freaking Panda? All cheap animal characters. Actually, they're actually real cheap. So and Lucky Chloe's not even cheaper than those, but they're not even gonna complain about how cheap it is. They're gonna complain about this is ridiculous, because look at this ridiculous character, when really you got 4 animal characters that it's like, what in the world? Then we got Mokujin, and you can't really say Mokujin is cheap. I mean, come on now. Which you actually can, but it's so specific if you want to talk about that. But there's no real conversation with people who's just like, Lucky Chloe looks ridiculous, because that's not a good enough argument, really, when you should have been complaining about characters before Lucky Chloe even came out, if that was the case. Second thing, people think Lucky Chloe is cheap, and I have to tell you guys one thing. When I don't like when I want to have someone as my main, or if I do have someone as my main, I will tell you if that person was cheap. Like during older Tekken games, I used to play Capos. Well, I didn't used to play Capos, I used to play Christy, which is a Capo. But the point is, I'll tell you right now, regardless if that character was one of my mains or not, she cheap, real cheap. And I'm not gonna lie about my main. If my main character was cheap or is cheap, or even if I do or don't have that main anymore, I'm gonna tell you, this character is fair, this character is cheap. I'm gonna tell you right now, Lucky Chloe is pretty fair. She's even more fair than freaking Paul. For one thing, you guys are talking about, she has capo moves, which she does kinda, but she is kinda the replacement of capos for the original version of Tekken 7. You know, people don't like having capos in Tekken anyway. She's pretty much a fair version of a capo, and people will say, dang, she's just like a capo, it's so cheap. And really, no, she's more so a fair version of a capo. I mean, she's got their grab, but she provides her own mix to it that's actually more logical than what I've seen from the capo. For one, her freaking slippery kicks, which aren't even slippery kicks really, don't trip you. They're pokes, which should have been done with the original capos. Why in the world do those kicks trip you? If they are planning on introducing the capos back into the series, don't make slippery kicks trip you, because that's way too messed up in a competitive mindset. Or at least keep the slippery kicks tripping you, but make them have to actually go through something to do it. On top of that, capos had cheat moves like back 1, back 2. I mean, Lucky Chloe doesn't have a back 1 like thing where she just eats all your health. Now, there's only one cheap thing about Lucky Chloe that I can't deny, which actually doesn't make her cheap, because it's not a simple task. It's not a simple task that's just thrown out like Phoenix Smasher can be, which in terms of Paul, he can be playing solid out of nowhere, boom, Phoenix Smasher, and he can just catch you by surprise. Lucky Chloe actually has to go in for a mix-up gang for this, and this is her California roll into a launcher, which she can stun you and launch you off of it, which this is pretty much the only cheap thing she really has, which eats away at your life. And I was like, dude, this is freaking OP. But I can't hate on it, because it's not an instant thing like a Phoenix Smasher or a slippery kick. It was pretty fair, and it's not like she has a barrage of moves like this. It's just one, where opposed to other characters like Capos, you got back 1, you got the slippery kicks themselves, you got back 2, then you got a mix up off of back 1, so you're pretty safe. You got freaking relaxed stance, which is the Negativa stance. and you can mix it up between the actual low or the mid. And even worse for that, it's a rock paper scissors game, except for the capos already won, because when you're fighting against a capo, when they do the complete setup for the frame trap into negativa stance, they can stay in that stance and they're gonna see if you block mid or you block low, and they'll wait for your response first, and they automatically can hit you afterwards. And don't worry, attacking them back don't work, because you're frame trapped, and also they're on the ground. Yeah, after you react, they're gonna react, and you most likely won't throw a hit down there that fast in order to do something about it. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Lucky Chloe is nowhere even half as cheap as a capo. Matter of fact, she's not even a cheap character. Her character design, I mean, I even have some disagreements about the little paws on her freaking hands, but it's not a complete ridiculous thing to throw in Tekken compared to what we've already had in Tekken. And she's not really OP. If I was looking for, why do people complain about actual characters that are cheap, like how cheap Shaheen is right now? He's way too good. Like, instead of even saying cheap, these folks say good, which, no, he's just cheap. There's a difference between a good character and a cheap character. But anyway, guys, make sure to share, comment, subscribe, and always finger the like button. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, dog.
See you next time. Bye.